I'm Anwiti Singh, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. In this episode, we talk about a controversy over anti-Modi posters in Delhi. We also talk about a death, allegedly by cow vigilantes in Karnataka. But first, we talk about a sexual harassment case at Kalakshetra. Kalakshetra is a renowned institution for teaching Bharatnatyam, Carnatic music, and visual arts in India. But right now, it is in the news for a sexual harassment case against one of its teachers. Hari Padman, a well-respected Bharatnatyam dancer and a teacher at the institute, was arrested this week and sent to judicial custody for allegedly harassing a woman student. Now, this case has also brought to light the years of harassment the students there have faced and has started a conversation about the prevalence of such behavior in the Indian classical arts community. To speak about the case and how it will impact the classical arts community, my colleague Utsa Sarmin speaks to Suanshu Khurana, who reported on the case for the paper.
So, Suanshu, begin by telling us, when did this issue first come to light?
So, there have been rumblings in the past at Kalakshetra as well, but nothing very clear sort of ever. But the issue actually came to light this time in December when Bharatnatyam exponent Leela Samson, who is one of the former students and also one of the directors, she was a director around 2016 at Kalakshetra, she put up a social media post only to redact it soon after. And in that post she'd spoken about how a haven of the highest art and contemplation was now turning a blind eye to how girls are treated, to quote her. She said that a male member of the staff is known to be threatening and molesting those who are not yet adults, and the said teacher must be brought to book. And she also added that Rukmini Devi did not build this institution and all her ideals to be abused. So all of this created there's a lot of talk about it on social media. And after that, a lot of students started making these complaints to the director of the institution, who's Revati Ramachandran, even to the head of the dance department. Largely, a lot of the dancers were the ones making these complaints, girls and boys, women and men. And after that, it just spiraled and went on to turn into a protest, and where we are now with it.
Right, and there was also a lot that happened between when it first came to light and when the protests actually started. So tell us a bit more about how things actually started spiraling.
So, the protests actually began after the chairperson of the National Commission for Women visited Kalakshetra, which was on the request of the institution. But she concluded that things were fine, after which the complaints were sort of dismissed as being rumors and students asked not to spread gossip. This bit about not to spread gossip was, it was circulated as a circular and, put up. The chairperson for the National Commission of Women actually concluded that nothing was happening because one of the victims decided to sort of deny all allegations. But that was one complaint. What was not realized was that there were many other complaints as well. Now, when this happened and when the rumors were asked to not be spread and not spread gossip and all, the institutes, the students decided, and some faculty members decided to sit under that famed banyan tree at Kalakshetra where they do their prayers and practice, and they decided to sit there and protest. After this, the institute's principal, Pakala Ramdas, he issued a circular to shut down the campus and the hostel within 2 days with immediate effect. And the order on vacating the hostel was then later withdrawn after the police arrived on the campus in the evening and met the director. The protest was called off the next day when Tamil Nadu Commission for Women chairperson A.S. Kumari visited. This is the state commission for women person. And she heard the students there for about 5 hours and heard many complaints in private. And she also made a statement after that where she said that there are about 100 complaints against 4 people and there will be now an inquiry. While this was happening, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also assured appropriate legal action if the allegations of sexual harassments of students on the campus were confirmed.
Now, one of the 4 people that Suanshu mentions here is Haripadman, who is a teacher at Kalakshetra. The other 3 are artists. And he's the only one who has been arrested and sent to judicial custody so far. And Suanshu, now let's talk about Kalakshetra. We know that it is a very well-known institute for Bharatnatyam and Carnatic music. And you have written that it helped revive a lot of Indian dance traditions that were banned under the British during the anti-Notch movement, like the Devdasi tradition, for example. So, can you tell our listeners more about this aspect?
So, Devadasis were actually female dancers and who were clearly in the service of the temple, and they, besides performing various rituals and everything, they also practiced certain classical Indian dance traditions, and this has included Bharatnatyam, Mohiniyattam and Odissi as well. So in Kalakshetra was established by Rukmini Devi Arundale. While it is a very significant effort made at that time to sort of save the dance form in a way, but also to sort of keep away from the disrepute, so to say, that came from the idea of Devadasis doing it. A lot of the shringar from it was taken away. A lot of the pieces that one saw and heard of Bharatnatyam were very purely based on bhakti and devotion, and, the naika with the sexual urges sort of went away. And that's also how Kalakshetra has been in terms of imbibing this idea of purity and chastity, and the way women are supposed to be, the makeup they should or they should not put up, or the skin they can or cannot show. There are certain very strict rules when you are a student there. So Kalakshetra, it was a very interesting concept when it began, because it did help in sort of reviving the art form and sort of making it what it is at this point. But it also sanitized a dance form, the pioneers of which were actually Devadasis.
Okay, and Swanshu, when you spoke to people who are either part of the faculty or have now passed out, they said that abuse or harassment in Kalakshetra is not new, and students have suffered different forms of abuse throughout the years. And it is only now that these issues are coming to light. So, could you talk about the kind of impact this will have not only on Kalakshetra but also on the larger Indian classical arts community?
Well, Kalakshetra as an institute, if you just look at it, it's sort of away from the hustle and bustle of Chennai. It's like in South Chennai. It's beautiful. It's 100 acres, sprawling campus that exists since 1936, and there's nature, there is art, and when you're learning Bharatnatyam, a lot of them also have to learn Carnatic music. They also have to learn visual arts. So it's a more holistic sort of a training into the arts. And as far as the whole sexual abuse thing is concerned, I did speak to people who, for example, were studying there in the 70s and 80s, and their opinion is that, the things that are called body shaming now, or, casteist slurs now, they were there then as well, but probably those people did not know better, didn't have a name for it. You would just feel bad about it and get out of it. The classical community slowly and steadily is speaking up. A lot of them are still quite silent about it, but some of them are speaking up. And I think mainly by not speaking up, by looking away and by sort of brushing it under the carpet, a lot of our classical community has been complicit in the whole thing. The music and dance system comes with a lot of deference for your guru, a lot of reverence. The power dynamic is quite skewed here. So many gurus, sometimes start considering themselves, the embodiments of the characters they play, the Krishna or Shiva, and think that it's all right to somehow behave this way outside of it. I'm not talking of everyone, of course, but there have been incidents where, the incidents have sort of reflected their stage persona. But finally, the students are speaking up. they've been scared in the past. They still are, but they are also aware, and they're speaking up, and I'm hoping that it's going to be significant.
And next, we talk about a controversy over a political poster. Last month, the Delhi police arrested 3 men and questioned another for posters pasted across the city. The posters read, "Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao," meaning remove Modi, save the country. These posters had actually been ordered by the Aam Aadmi Party. But what is important to note is that the men who have been arrested are not associated with the party at all. 2 of them are the owners of the printing press that printed the posters. One is a delivery person and the other one is a van driver. Indian Express's Jignasa Sinha spoke to all 4 of them. And in this segment, she joins Utsa to talk about the case.
So, Jignasa, tell us, how are these men involved in this controversy and what exactly are they accused of?
So, there were these 4 men who were caught by the Delhi police on March 20th and 21st. And they were accused of public defacement and Press and Registration Books Act. But in fact, they were just involved in, sticking these anti-Modi posters across Delhi. And the posters were they stated that Modi Hatao, Desh Bachao. And police said that the accusation against them is that the posters did not have the name of the printing press, and the persons involved, they were found, sticking these posters on public walls and, defacing them.
And these 4 men were not directly associating with putting up the posters, right?
So yeah, they were only associated with delivering the posters or printing the posters. Since 2 of the persons involved, they are owners of printing press. So one of the printing press involved is Om Sai Printers and the other is the Global Industry one. And their owners, Vinod and Sumit, were arrested for printing these posters. They had received an order of 50,000 posters from the Aam Aadmi Party. But they are not involved with Aam Aadmi Party, or they are not involved with the planning of the posters or even sticking them. They just received a simple work order and they printed the posters. Then these posters were given to drivers. So one of the drivers, who has been identified as Pappu Mehto, he was arrested on March 20th by the Delhi police while he was just delivering the order in central Delhi. He was not involved even in printing the poster, or he was not sticking the posters on walls or anything. But the police said that yes, he was sticking posters and he was defacing public property, so we have arrested him. Then there was a 4th person. He was not arrested but only bound down, which is just he was just named as an accused. So the person is Vishnu Sharma and he is the owner of the van which was being driven by Pappu. So the police said that even he is involved in all this. But in fact, all 4 men were just simply doing their job and none of them are associated with Aam Aadmi Party, BJP or any other thing.
Right. So the police said that the van driver was putting up the poster and that's why they arrested him. But what were the arguments that the police made for arresting or questioning the other 3 people?
So for Vinod Pundir, who is the owner of Om Sai Printers, police said that Vinod's company did not print their company's name on the posters, which is illegal under the Press and Book Registration Act. And they said that he will be booked because the company failed to do that. Similarly, Sumit was also accused of defacement, that his company printed posters that were used to deface walls and the company did not put their name behind the posters or, beneath it to show that, their company printed those posters. So yeah, these were the arguments against them.
Okay, and you have spoken to all 4 of them. Could you talk about what they had to say about this?
So yeah, we spoke to all 4 of them and Vinod and Sumit, who are printing press owners, they told us that this was a simple job, they have, and this is not the first time they've worked with Aam Aadmi Party or a political party. In fact, they have worked with several political parties. They've worked with schools, they've worked with hospitals, and they're involved in printing work and delivering. And this was just a normal order. And, I think they were offered some 1.5 lakhs for the 50,000 posters or something like that. And they were simply told to do their job by one party spokesperson, and they did it. But they didn't know that, they would be arrested. They were released a few hours later, but now they have been named in a case. So they were all shocked because, the police did not tell them anything. They were picked up in the middle of the night and then they were questioned about the posters. And they said that usually people do not put their names or their company's name under these posters. So they've done it for Bhajpa, they've done it for Samajwadi Party, they've done it for others, and they don't put their names. So it's a usual practice. They didn't know it was illegal, in fact. And we also spoke to Pappu Mehto, who was just the driver, and he told us that he didn't even know that he was doing something wrong, or he was working indirectly for Aam Aadmi Party or something like that. He said that he was just employed by Vishnu, and he was told to, deliver these 20 bundles of posters, and that's it. He didn't even know what was written on the posters. He didn't know it was against the Prime Minister or it was for Aam Aadmi Party. He was simply doing his job when the police caught him inside the van and seized the posters and arrested him. And none of them, Vinod, Sumit, Pappu or Vishnu, they've never been questioned by the police or arrested before. This was the first time.
And Jignasa, what kinds of concerns do you think these arrests and questionings raise?
So, the Delhi police have simply given out statements saying that, they were only doing their job under these Defacement Act and the Press Act. But it simply raises the question that why such arrests are not made every day. So, you can see thousands of posters across Delhi of different parties, of tuition centers, of hospitals, of different things, like a lot of sectors. But the police are not actively registering cases or making arrests. Why the need to, seize all the 50,000 posters, arrest these 4 men? It's almost like sending a message. And the sad part is none of them are involved with any party, or they were not involved in sticking the posters. They were simply the people who were employed to do their work. Somebody was employed to print posters. Somebody was asked to provide a van. Somebody was asked to deliver the posters. They didn't even know the content. They didn't even know the repercussions of it. So to simply arrest them or to, bound down them is like sending a message to the opposition saying that this is wrong. But in what way is it wrong? Because the Aam Aadmi Party has again, printed out posters against Prime Minister, and then they stuck it outside the Aam Aadmi Party office walls and at other places. While the police again removed the posters from other walls, they could not remove it from Aam Aadmi Party office. Posters will come up, and we don't know what action the police can take, because Vinod, who is one of the printing press owners, told us that one of the few of the posters did have his company's name mentioned. So the police didn't even bother to look into the case. They just simply booked him because he was the owner. There was no evidence against him or something like that.
And in the end, we talk about a cow vigilante in Karnataka. Last month, a cattle trader named Idris Pasha was killed when some cow vigilantes stopped him and 2 of his associates while they were transporting their cows out of the state. One of these vigilantes was Puneet Kerahali, who is a pro-Hindutva activist and who is allegedly close to the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, Pasha's cause of death is yet to be revealed, but people close to him have alleged that he was murdered by Puneet. In this segment, Indian Express's Kiran Parashar joins us to talk about this case and tell us more about Puneet Kerahali. So Kiran, recently a man was allegedly killed in Karnataka on suspicions of cattle smuggling. So could you tell us about this incident and who is the prime suspect in this case?
So Anwiti, this incident took place very close to Bangalore, that is some 20-25 kilometers away from Bangalore, in a town called Sathnur, which belongs to Ramnagar district. So on Friday night, that is on 31st of March, few people from Mandya district, that includes Idris Pasha, Saeed Zahir and Irfan. 3 people were taking some 16 cattle and they were transporting it towards Tamil Nadu and Kerala to sell it in the local fairs. At that point of time, when they were near Satnur police station, one person named Puneet Kerehalli, he is a self-styled Hindu activist in Karnataka. He, along with his associates, intercepted the vehicle, and they started to question them and also beat them up. So, while all this incident was happening right in front of Satnur police station, during that commotion, what happened was Idris Pasha and Irfan ran from that place, and it is alleged that Idris Pasha was chased and assaulted before he was killed. At the same time, Syed Zahir went inside the police station, and there the police initially booked a case against Syed Zahir for illegally transporting cows or cattle. So that was the first complaint, and the second complaint was filed by Syed Zahir himself, where he claimed that Puneet Kerehalli and his associates assaulted them while they were on the road.
Okay, so to clarify, when Zahir goes to the police station, the first case was filed against him?
Correct. Because Karnataka has this called illegal transportation of cow slaughtering is also banned in Karnataka. Cow slaughtering is banned in Karnataka. So police booked Syed Zahir for illegal cow transportation and also under Cow Slaughter Act. And after that, another case was filed against Puneet Kerehalli for allegedly assaulting Syed Zahir and others. On next day, April 1st, what came to light was that Syed Idris' dead body was discovered from a place which is 100 meters away from the police station. So then, based on Yunus Pasha is the brother of Idris Pasha. So based on his complaint, police registered a murder case. So following that, there was a lot of criticism against the police and also against these cow vigilantes, like who took law and order into their own hands rather than just taking them before the police.
And Kiran, right now we don't know exactly how Idris Pasha died. But could you tell us, what do the preliminary reports tell us?
So the preliminary postmortem report suggested that Idris Pasha might have died due to cardiac arrest. And also there have been a lot of speculations, and also there have been a lot of allegations that Puneet Kerehalli was using stun guns. So the stun guns are usually used by law enforcement agencies in USA. And it also, these stun guns have a link between cardiac arrest and stun guns. There are a lot of cases. So when I checked with the police said that it is true that he was carrying stun gun, but that video is not related to the incident which took place on March 31st. However, they did not deny that whether he was carrying stun gun or he was not carrying. So they are not sure whether he was carrying or not.
Right, so Kiran, now let's talk about the main suspect, Puneet Kerehalli, who was arrested yesterday. So he is a known pro-Hindutva activist in the state. Tell us a bit more about him.
So basically, Puneet Kerehalli worked as a cab driver, as a taxi driver in Bangalore in his 30s. Then what happened was he was also attending a few of the political rallies and all these things. Initially, he was also noted with JDS. Then he started working closely with the BJP. So then he started, according to one of the persons who has closely worked with him, based on anonymity, what the person said was that Kerehalli, who was attending few of the BJP events, including RSS Shakas, he started to build a social profile, and his targets were usually the social media influencers and the local activists. So he started specifically of who were part of this taxi driver unions and who were part of labor union, all these people. So initially he started in such a way, and then he started creating short provocative videos where he would convert that into religious and spin it to religious and caste angles, and he started doing that.
And you've also written that there are a few police cases already filed against him. So when was his first brush with the law?
So for the first time, Puneet Kerali name came out when he was picked up in July 2021, where he released a video. He usually does Facebook Live. So where he released a video saying that there is a plot by Christian missionaries to remove Shiva statue from Begur Lake. That is how a FIR against him was registered. So in this FIR, Puneet Kerali was registered under 153A, that is promoting enmity between groups, and other IPC sections. So later in September 2021, Puneet Kerali and his team allegedly disrupted a Christian prayer meeting, claiming that conversion was happening and all. So then he started getting noticed with a few of the BJP leaders, including Tejaswi Surya, Annamalai, and several others. So then he started a few of the campaigns, which usually is backed by VHP or which carries Hindutva agenda.
And Kiran, you just mentioned that he has been seen with BJP leaders like Tejaswi Surya and Annamalai. And there are reports that he's linked with the BJP. So what is the basis of these reports?
So if you see, Puneet Kerali is working with, he works with an organization which is have pro-Hindutva ideology. So basically, these people work with different organizations, but still they are noted as BJP sympathizers. So they get a warm welcome in BJP events as well. For example, when BJP Yuva Morcha National President and Bengaluru South MP Tejaswi Surya, it might be that, or BJP MP Pratap Simha, Tamil Nadu State BJP President K. Annamalai, and even for the matter of fact, Sri Ram Sene Chief Pramod Mutalik, and state BJP ministers Ashwath Narayan, BC Nagesh. So all the photos with these people started coming out after the murder took place. And when I checked with the state BJP spokesperson, Mahesh told that they are yet to check whether they have any association with Puneet Kerali. So presently, BJP in Karnataka has neither accepted nor denied whether Puneet Kerali was their member.
Right. And can you tell us about how the opposition has reacted to this incident?
So if you see in Karnataka politics now presently, not many people are reacting. Only few politicians have reacted. One is that JDS leader and former chief minister HD Kumaraswamy has reacted, saying that the police should not allow these kind of fringe elements to take law and order into their hands, and also demanded to arrest Puneet Kerali at the earliest. While in Congress, Siddaramaiah also questioned the inability of Home Minister Araga Gnanendra, and also demanded the law and order situation in Karnataka is going hopeless without proper action being taken in these kind of incidents.
You were listening to Three Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was hosted by me, Anwiti Singh, and written and produced by Utsa, Sarmin and me with the help of Shashank Bhargava. It was edited and mixed by Abhishek Kumar. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone who you think will like it and share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Podcasts and write to us at podcast@indianexpress.com.